guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends on my free-to-play account, and things have really changed here on the free-to-play account. A few of you guys asking for an update in the comments. Well, ask no more. We have the Vexthal account back at you guys, and everything has changed. And I want to talk to you guys, showcase a couple of my new champions, show you the improvements I've been able to make, talk about some pain points that I'm going through right now inside the game. I was wrong again.
It's time to stop, okay?
It starts to be a reoccurring theme here on the channel, but I was wrong about something that I said in my should you even bother playing Raid Shadow Legends as a free-to-play player video, and I'll talk about that as well. But first, let's take a quick look at the new champions and the progress that I've been able to make. In just a matter of 6 days, literally spending, it feels like hours each day. I think I took a day off though. I have my second 6-star champion, Dhukk the Pierced. I think this guy's great. I took a look at some tier lists, and yeah, it looks like everybody is ranking him. The tier list that I looked at, everybody's putting him as a top 5 epic champion inside the game. I tend to agree, although it's really impossible to compare support versus defense versus whatever. But he is a defensive-based champion. You love to see it, so it's tough to kill this dude, and that's why I love him so much. I think that I know he's going to be a champion, and this is what we always look for when we're talking about investment on not just free to play but any account, is the 3 qualities that I'm looking for, the 3 Ash qualities: the end game viability of a champion, which Dhukk has, check mark there, right? And then the overall versatility, how many areas can I use him? Basically anything except for against force, and even against force, although he's not going to be landing all his debuffs, which is a huge part of what he brings to the table, he's still difficult to kill because of his high base defense. So pretty good in the versatility. I would put him as like a B because he has magic affinity. And then C, the value over replacement. Those are the 3 factors that we look at when investing in a new champion or deciding who to invest in off of 2 new champions that we're kind of considering. So value over replacement, man, well, he replaced War Maiden. Bye-bye, War Maiden. I'm sure I'll still use her. I took off her speed boots. I put it on Dhukk. And yeah, we're doing the best we can with the artifacts that we have. A huge weakness, 2 big weaknesses on this account right now are artifacts. They kind of suck. And my masteries. They kind of don't exist.
Help me help you.
So artifacts and masteries, I am working on potion farming quite a bit here. I have Kale obviously fully ascended, and Dhukk will be next up. Also, Achak the Wenderin is 1 star away, or actually make it 2 stars away because he is not fully ranked up as well. So anyway, we got Dhukk. He's made a huge difference. Plus 2 levels in Ice Golem, plus 1 level in Spider, thanks to Dhukk being added to the team, or replacing, value over replacement over War Maiden. So you love to see that. But it's not just Dhukk the Pierce, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, really quickly on his kit, he has decreased accuracy, damage based on defense. I was able to, thanks to the free daily gifts, I got a chicken, I got some epic books. So looking pretty good there. I also accomplished a quest or 2 or whatever. So unfortunately, all of the books went in his first skill. Oh man, like what the heck? So all the books went to the A1 Mad Chopper, which we didn't want at all. We wanted the books to go in his A3, man. Bring this down to a 4-turn cooldown. He has an A or a provoke on 1 target enemy. Also has a chance at putting that provoke on 2 target enemies or random enemies with the unkillable as well. He also has decreased attack and decreased defense on each critical hit. I would love to get this down to a 3-turn cooldown as well. So that is Dhukk. We also have Prince Kymar. Prince Kymar, the first legendary on my free-to-play account, in case you missed the legendary opening, I guess technically correct. In case you missed the shard opening video in which I pulled Prince Kymar on my free-to-play account. So thrilled about that. I'll go ahead and link it for you guys in the description below. The thing with Prince Kymar is he's great, but I thought about not even using him out the gate, and then I changed my mind. And I'm like, dude, he's too good not to use. But the thing is he has an AoE on the A1 with poison, strong version, love it. And then Abyssal Gaze, an AoE attack with the sleep, removing buffs. Again, a solid ability. And then Seal of Magic, resets the cooldown of all ally skills. I did get one legendary book thanks to the daily second anniversary login or whatever, rewards or whatever, gifts, I guess. So that was cool. He's going to be my Aura lead, in arena battles as well. So that's going to help out tremendously. The thing of it is, though, it's going to take me so long to max this dude out. Again, not just the books, but it takes, as you guys know, it takes more resources to ascend these champions. It's going to be a labor of love, though, because I love Prince Kymar. The only champions masteries who I have anything on for the most part is Kale, who I actually saved up 800 gems to get my first champion kind of maxed out. You know how it is. It's like a snowball when you farm masteries, right? You kind of focus on one champion first, and then the more champions you get maxed out, the easier it is to max out a next champion's masteries. I can tell you what, though, gems are kind of plentiful, more than I thought I would get as a free-to-play, but not nearly enough to justify continuing to do 800 gems on every single champion. With my gems, I've pretty much only been spending them on either energy refills if I really need a couple extra battles, or primarily I'm using all of my gems on just the buying these, the 100% XP boosts when I am campaign farming, because again, it's a lot. It's a lot of campaign farming. That's the number one takeaway I have in terms of a pain point from free to play is campaign farming, man. I don't know how you guys do it. Well, now I do, I guess, but man, so much time spent in campaign. I feel like I spent more time in campaign than I have total on my pay to win account. Jeez, that's what pay to win players don't recognize about free to play players. How much time they spend in campaign. I never knew. I mean, I knew there was more, obviously, but not this much more. Not, putting a week's worth of time to farm enough food to get a 6-star champion. And a lot of time at that. All right, so what's my other pain point? What's the thing? Let me show you these new champions in action. So who's out really quickly? Bye-bye War Maiden and bye-bye Crimson Helm. I know some of you guys are probably surprised at that, but I already have a Provoker now, and I only have so many speed boots. Not that I'm going to totally throw her away. Obviously, I will use Crimson Helm. I have her at, 5-star, at level 50, obviously. But I already have now the Provoke that she has on her A2, now on Dhukk, so it's kind of like a 2-strong debuff in one champion, but I am missing out on the increased defense. So, of course, I'm still going to use her, but my main team now is going to be Achak, who has the block debuffs and strengthen, and the AoE freeze or HP burn. Love to have that, and I can't get rid of him because of this aura. Defense in all battles by 25%. I mean, there's no replacing that, especially at where I am right now inside the game. So he's number one. He's aura lead. We have Kale in Lifesteal, who's my carry basically everywhere. And then we have Apothecary, who's not going to be going anywhere. Increased speed and the 2-turn cooldown heal, obviously, on Soothing Chant. Whoa. So those are our main, and we have Dhukk, so that's 4. And then we have Prince Kaimar. So that's kind of my main team now. And then I'm working on Bellower. So Bellower, in the beginning, in Zargala, as I mentioned in the video, in the shard opening video, I'm not going to build Zargala right now. I will get her to, eventually to 5 stars when I have the time to do so. Zargala it's crazy to say this, and some people took issue with me mentioning this in the shard opening video in the comments, but you tell me who she would replace, right? Or why I should invest in her over continuing to focus on the epic champions that I still have. These are 3 epic champions. It's going to take me forever to fully max their masteries and their skills. So why would I, spread that 4 ways instead of 3 when I already have the decreased defense on Dhukk the Pierced? I don't need the nukage. You guys know me. I'm not about, especially on a free-to-play account, I'm not about flashy times. I'm not about, rolling through these dungeons really fast. I don't care, man. I just want to be able to beat a dungeon and then set it and forget it overnight on 30 battles. I think that, I mentioned this before. Sorry for repeating so much information in today's video, or opinions in today's video. I mentioned this before, but I could give a crap, and this is kind of a shout out to me of a year ago when I was posting Fire Knight in 40 seconds. Rah!
Good for you, man. Good for you. Good for you.
Like, who cares, dude? Who cares? Whoop-de-doop, man. Good for you, right? Who cares? I should probably delete those videos. Like, I mean, maybe it might be interesting to see, like, you know, very, very fast teams to some people, but you know, in practicality inside the game, it doesn't matter if it's 50 seconds or 5 minutes, because you're still limited by that finite resources energy. And that brings me to kind of my final point of the video. What I was wrong about on my free-to-play video is I think what was happening is we might wipe here. Dude, this is 2 free-to-play videos in a row where I'm like, look at all the progress I've made, guys, and then we wipe. However, it was only Kale and Dhukk alive at the end of the battle, but we're not looking so good here. Anyway, we'll see if we can complete this this battle against Ice Golem. Ice Golem, by the way, man, I'm all over the place today. I apologize, guys. I'm scatterbrained. Ice Golem really important because I want to farm stun gear for my Bellower, right? But for now, we're going to build Bellower only for campaign farming. Again, I made the point earlier, we are going to wipe here. I made the point earlier, though, that campaign farming is, God, I spend a lot of time there. It takes me 30 seconds right now with Kale. I really want to get that down to about 15 seconds with Bellower, because it's going to make a huge difference time-wise overall. And I know we just said it's not about time, but it is about time if I'm sitting there pressing repeat battle on 20, 30-second battles all day, right? So that would be the exception to the rule. So we wiped here on stage 13. I just cleared it before the video, as you guys can see. Let's just do stage 12. Either way, we made some progress on Ice Golem. Going back to my other point, guys. So I told you the plans on Bellower. Bellower's going to start out campaign, and then he's going to move to stun set, and he's going to be used maybe in replace of whoever the weak affinity is on my team. That's the game plan so far. Really, really a big fan of Bellower with higher accuracy, build him out with a little bit of defense, and put him in a stun set, as opposed to making him an all-out nuker, especially on a free-to-play account. So that's going to be the game plan for Bellower, and then he can slot in depending on the affinity of the, the stage that we're on. He can slot in there. But anyway, the big mistake was energy. I said in that video that, man, I'm getting more energy than I thought I could ever need. I'm surprised at the energy. Nah, that wears off, you know? Unfortunately, that's what happened to me, at least, is for a while, for the first maybe month and a half of free-to-play, I was like, this is great. I have an abundance of energy. Fantastic raid of Shadow Legends. Good job, Plarium. And now I find myself using all my energy every day and kind of sort of wishing I had more. So it's unfortunate, but I still have plenty to do. I still neglect the arena on this account because it's easy to get kind of disenfranchised on Arena being totally free to play in kind of the early game still. I would consider myself still in the early game, although I'm getting there, slowly approaching the mid game. But yeah, I think right now my focus still needs to be a little bit on Arena. I have all these Magic Affinity champions. Why not get some value out of them and start upgrading at least their accuracy in the Arena on Magic? Let's see what these gauntlets are. Crit damage with accuracy. Cursed. Kind of have to realign your expectations after playing pay to win for so long. Like, normally I'd be like, sell. But now I'm just like, you know what? We'll keep them. Why not? We have 700 artifact slots anyway, right? Really not a big reason to sell. Let's go ahead, and what I wanted to show you is, look at this. 12 million silver, guys. I've basically been very, very stingy with my silver. I'm not spending on anything unless it's a really, not an incremental upgrade artifact-wise. I'm looking for a really solid upgrade artifact-wise before I invest my silver. I had like 16 million, but I allocated about 4 million or so to gear up Kymar and to gear up Dhukk, who I will show you their gear in a second. I do want to, ooh, look at that energy. Speaking of energy, yeah, I'm going to do it for the video, but 40 gems, I don't know. But you can see I'm making progress slowly but surely on Spider. You know what's going to happen, though, eventually, guys? Eventually, I'm going to go ahead and it's going to... the more I upgrade, like Prince Kaimar, the more I upgrade Dhukk and Achak and get more 6 stars. And most importantly, the better I upgrade my gear, which I really haven't been focusing on right now, Masteries, all that good stuff, the more progression I'm going to make inevitably. It's going to come... I just have this feeling that it's going to be one day I'm able to progress 3 or 4 stages in these dungeons. So it might not look like much right now, but still, I've been saying that I'm like 2 months in. I'm actually surprised. I'm not even 2 months in, so it hasn't been that long on the free-to-play account. So I'm pretty happy with my progression thus far. In terms of these builds on these champions, I have basically, I would love to get lifesteal on what's-his-face, Dhukk the Pierced, but I think he's going to be okay. Ideally, I have lifesteal on like all my champions, except for Apothecary. At least all the champions I'm using here, because they all put out enough damage, I think, to justify lifesteal. However, I don't know. I'm kind of in a weird spot, too, where I'm kind of going with what I have, right? So I'm using accuracy sets. Big fan of accuracy artifact sets, which are easy to farm in Dragon's Lair, which is usually what I'm kind of doing overnight on the 30 attacks. Sometimes potion keeps as well. But yeah, especially Magic Keep, because I have so many Magic Affinity champions. But yeah, man, I'm focusing on accuracy sets, because look at all these champions. Whether it's Kymar, whether it's Kale, whether it's Dhukk, or whether it's the Wenderin, they all require accuracy. Tough to get accuracy without the banners. Accuracy, as most of you guys probably know, is incredibly important in this game, especially in the early game. You generally want at least 10 points of accuracy per stage of the dungeon. Now that's tough, man. I mean, this is stage, what, 13? Getting 130 accuracy without an accuracy banner with subpar gear is easier said than done. So what I'm doing is really relying heavily on accuracy sets from Dragon's Lair. Definitely a huge benefit. So I'm really keeping my eye out on for accuracy sets. Let me make myself a little bit smaller here towards the end of the video, right? So I'm really keeping my eye out for accuracy sets and, you know, speed here and there as well. I do have lifesteal, as I mentioned, on Kale. Kale's probably the best equipped out of all of these champions. Think I can beat this spider here? I don't know. It's not looking... it's looking all right. We have 2 Deados. We get that AoE. Dhukk doesn't do a ton of damage. I do have like close to 100% crit rate on this champion, but it looks like we might wipe on both of these stages that I just cleared excitedly this morning. Granted, I only did 1 attack on both, so it looks like we're going to wipe here as well, unless Kale can just solo this beast. You think Kale can do it, guys? I mean, we have Achak as well. Let's see. He does have the... Okay, he freezes. And then, let's see. Get the Strengthen. Get the Lifesteal. Those big heals, though, we really can't contend with on the spiders. So we're going to see if we can kind of out-damage the heal. And I'm not sure we're going to be able to do so. Kale's good, but I'm not sure if he's that good. Let's see. And Achak is going to be Deado in a second. So now it's Kale versus the spider. And yeah, that's going to be a wipe. Man, dude, I mean... I'm almost tempted to cut these, but I'm going to give you what I got, guys. That was stage 10 of Spider, and Spider's tough, man. I just cleared it, as you guys can see here, in 3.5 minutes, but we're going to have to work on primarily, again, the artifacts. So that is an update. We basically swapped out the entire team. I think Bellower is going to help a lot, too, in stun, especially if I can get that HP burn going. So we can use the HP burn, the burn and stun strategy on Spider. We can probably employ that. In terms of artifacts, man, crap here on Achak. He has 1 accuracy and Stalwart, right? Not even fully upgraded, so we can definitely do a lot better on him. Kale is a little bit better in lifesteal gear, of course, focusing on the middle row. I have no banners yet. I can't farm them yet. And then on Dhukk the Pierce, we have speed and accuracy set. Again, relying heavily on accuracy, mixing it with speed on the boots wherever I can find it. And then we have Apothecary as well in 1 speed set, but pretty decent gear. We have defense. We have a really good speed chest piece here. And we have whatever I can find for boots. And then we have, what, Crimson again. Actually, we're probably going to go ahead and strip these artifacts away. Look at this, the best piece of gear that I have on the account. I showed you guys that in the last video as well. Guys, do you have any recommendations for me? What would you, I'm going to leave you with this. Kaimar, by the way, crit rate and attack Need to upgrade that in speed that we stole from Crimson Helm on the boots there, and Bellower's naked right now. Painkeeper we can probably strip off as well. Painkeeper's good, but I don't need her yet on the account. So guys, let me throw the question to you. What would you do if you were me right now inside the game? Is there something that you would, is there a champion that you would build that I haven't yet? As you can see, we're keeping it pretty minimal in terms of the champions that we actually have that are good. We don't have a ton to choose from, but would you build Harkin Greatblade? Would you build Zargala? Or would you, neglect any of these champions and focus on another one? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you have any artifact suggestions, something that I could be doing differently. Always open to your advice in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.